BFree CBD.com joins forces with Championship Wrestling to bring you the all-new Championship Wrestling podcast. And here's your host, Dustin Starr, featuring special guest,
BFree CBD,
founder of BFree CBD, Daryl Bird. Here we go!
Body aches gone, leg pain gone, back pain gone, relaxation on. Hello everybody and welcome to episode 29 of the Championship Wrestling Podcast, presented by BFree CBD. Happy Monday everybody! We have a great show planned for you today, so thank you for joining me wherever you are. I am Dustin Starr and I'm coming to you from Memphis, Tennessee, the home of Rhythm and Brews, the capital of professional wrestling. And today, my lovely wife Maria will join me as promised. Plus, we have a special edition of the Mailbag featuring questions for both myself and my Maria. That should be a whole lot of fun. But before we do all that, I have to remind you that this podcast is presented by BFreeCBD.com. And before we go any further, big congratulations to Daryl and Charlotte for opening their very first brick-and-mortar BFree CBD location right here in Memphis, Tennessee. The grand opening is coming soon, but they are open right now. That's in Collierville, Tennessee. You can check them out online at BFreeCBD.com. Of course, it's perfect for aches and pains, or if you're struggling with anxiety, you can check out their oils. The bath bombs are amazing, and then they have flour and gummies, and my faves are the gummies that contain CBN for nighttime. Helps me sleep. I'm fired up all the time. But be sure to follow them at BFreeCBD. That's the letter B, Free CBD, on all forms of social media. And while you're there, go ahead and follow at CW30 Wrestling. I am at Dustin Starr, and today, here's what we have planned. We will recap Saturday's Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle. It was the PP3 blockbuster finale featuring our champion showcase. We're also going to look ahead at what's coming up this week and where you can find Championship Wrestling in the news and in the media. But up next, my Maria joins me to get all caught up on the latest happenings. You heard from me last week. Now it's time to hear from her. My lovely Maria is up next.
The all-new Championship Wrestling podcast is presented by BFree CBD.
Am I allowed to fly to Hollywood, California to beat up Ray Rosas?
If you do, you'll have to quarantine for 2 weeks. So you better be looking for volunteers to let you live with them for 2 weeks.
BFreeCBD.com joins forces with Championship Wrestling to help you be and feel your best.
My Maria. Welcome back to the podcast.
I'm back.
Yep, be sure to follow my Maria at the Maria Starr. Last week, I talked all about the big announcement. Now it's your turn.
Oh, Lord.
Put you on the spot.
Well, it feels like anticlimactic because we're already halfway done and nobody knew about it, so.
Well, let's talk about that. How hard was that, keeping it a secret? How did you keep it a secret? I know how I kept it a secret. I wasn't allowed to go anywhere.
Well, yeah, it's been much easier since we're in quarantine and haven't really gone anywhere since we found out. So that was easy. It was hard to keep it from people, especially people that knew that we were trying and kept asking about it. But other than that, pretty easy as far as no one could see me.
Yeah, and the way that you could shoot television, you could hide it for a while anyways. Let's talk about the cannons. What happened to the cannon, the blue cannon?
I guess my hands had sunscreen on them or something. I don't know, but my cannon was not going off the way it was planned.
All right, a lot of the fans want to know, how are you feeling?
I feel good physically. I don't know how I feel mentally with COVID and all the anxiety from that, but physically I feel pretty good.
All right, so for those listening who do not know that feeling like myself, other than what you've told me, give us some insight on how you feel the baby in there. Is that weird to ask?
No, I don't think so. right now the baby is very active. I can feel the baby all day long, pretty much. And it feels like, at first it felt like a muscle spasm that didn't repeat itself, but now it feels like a kick, a full-on
Yeah,
punch.
see, that's the kind of stuff I'm interested in. It's for some reason, it's really... Anyways, there was Friday the 13th that I talked about. A Friday the 13th that I will never forget when you broke the news to me. When did you know? Like, how many days had you kept that?
Like
Talk
a
to me
week.
about that.
I think
week?
a whole week.
Oh my gosh!
Well, things were not going. Things were not looking good in the world, so...
All right, so this is a cheap plug. We have new onesies in the Championship Wrestling shop, so you can go to grindcitydesigns.com/Championship Wrestling. They were on sale last week. You could get them 20% off. Go check those out. But we have a ton of great questions coming up in the mailbag, so you got to stay with us on that. Okay, Maria?
All right.
Championship Wrestling joins forces with Grind City Designs to bring you the all-new Championship Wrestling shop. All styles, all sizes, featuring the legends of classic Memphis wrestling. Pickup or delivery. The Championship Wrestling Rewind is brought to you by BFree CBD.
Last week on Championship Wrestling, it was our PP3 blockbuster finale, starting with tag team action with Pinks and Fidel Bravo versus 4 minutes of heat.
You better recognize that it's time to respect. Palabra, all eyes on us.
Then we saw the return of Danny Limelight Rivera, and boy was he spectacular.
And you can bet, going forward, no one's gonna shine brighter than Danny Limelight.
And in our main event, our Champion Showcase featured every single champion in Championship Wrestling in the same match at the same time.
Pile driver, you kidding me? Oh, no. He's got it. He's got an official. He's got the cup.
All that and so much more on the fastest hour in pro wrestling. Watch episode 68 in full on our official YouTube channel at CW30 Wrestling.
The Championship Wrestling Lookout is brought to you by BFree CBD.
Be sure to stay up to date and informed by following Championship Wrestling on social media. It's easy, at CW30 Wrestling on all the different channels. Every Thursday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, you can catch me on Sports 56 Mornings with Peter and CJ. Gosh, we cut it up talking about pro wrestling and who knows what else. You can listen live anywhere in the world, or you can listen on podcast at sports56WHBQ.com. And then Thursday around noon, it's an all-new Grind City Wrestling podcast. You can listen at grindcitymedia.com/podcast. We almost died laughing at Devin last week. And here's a quick snippet, but you can join us every Thursday where we talk professional wrestling, and we're approaching our milestone 100th episode. Check this out real quick.
Bro,
Extreme.
come on now. We've got an eye for an eye match. The only way to win is to extract your opponent's eyeball out of his head.
Okay, Dustin. You know how this goes, right?
So who's losing an eyeball
We
on
all
Sunday?
know that Rey Mysterio has a false eyeball, right?
Does he?
Yes.
No!
Does he really?
I'm pretty sure he does.
Get out of here.
His eyes are not real, bro.
No, those are contact lenses, dude. You can put contact lenses.
Bro, Google his eyes. Like, he has a fake eyeball. Like, who's going to take their eyeball out?
It's time for this week's mailbag. Mailbag.
It's that time where we answer your questions in the mailbag. And yes, I said we because this week I am not alone. My Maria's here.
I hear we have lots of good questions.
We do. We have lots of good questions. And also, you had some questions that came through on social media as well. I usually post these on Friday, and that's on Instagram at Dustin Starr. But first question Have you thought about what Baby Star's name will be?
We have gone back and forth on a lot of names. So, yeah, we have.
Yes. Are there any that you're willing to indulge?
No, not yet.
All right, next question. Are you guys having to take extra precautions being pregnant with a pandemic?
Well, obviously, we are. I'm not really leaving the house.
And I'm not leaving the house very much either. And when I am being extremely cautious, wearing a mask. I've got Lysol strapped to each hip and ready to go. So yes, there are definitely precautions that we have to take.
We're not having a baby shower. We're not doing anything that we would normally do.
All right, next question. Favorite vacation place? That's easy.
Well, our general vacation spot is the beach. I would say my favorite spot would be Turks and Caicos.
Okay, well that's fair enough, but I would just say the beach.
Okay, some beaches are better than others.
Well, of course. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, the next question is, why is your wife so pretty?
I bet I know who sent that in.
It's true. It's very, very true.
I was born with it.
Okay.
Just kidding. It's lots of makeup. Fake eyelashes.
Okay, next question. Do you have any clothes ideas for Baby Star? Yeah, go ahead. Fess up. How many outfits does the baby already have?
The baby is covered for 0 to 3 months. So after that, he might just be naked.
Oh my gosh. Well, no, trust me. This kid has more clothes than I have Jordans.
That's not true.
That is absolutely true. Next question. Maria's favorite movie. What is your favorite movie?
I don't really think I have a favorite movie. I just watch Netflix a lot.
I put that on Instagram. Definitely a lot of Netflix. But you don't have a favorite movie like a...
I don't think so, because I'm not really like watch a movie twice kind of person. So I don't really just have a movie that I would even really go back and watch again.
Favorite chips?
Probably dill pickle chips.
Yeah.
Or Doritos. Oh, the Doritos, the chili, sweet chili flavor? I think so.
It says, have you had to run to get any weird stuff? Dill pickle chips. I mean, that's not really weird, but...
I don't think you've ran to do anything.
That's not true. Give credit where credit is due. All right, next question. What is your favorite WrestleMania?
Definitely New Orleans. I think I like the entertainment of Orlando more than New Orleans, but I like the experience of New Orleans more.
Being able to walk everywhere. Our tickets were pretty solid too, not gonna lie.
We had really good seats, and just being able to walk everywhere and in Orlando, we had to take an hour-long Uber ride just to get to certain places, and that wasn't because we were staying an hour away. It was the traffic and with all their events being in different areas. So definitely New Orleans.
In Orlando, I think it was a $100 Uber trip for just a couple of miles.
No, definitely.
Insane.
That's
Okay.
probably cheaper than what it was.
Next question. A lot of baby questions. When's the due date? Which I know the answer to this.
November 23rd is the official due date. You think it'll come early, or you think it'll come late?
Early. Because you have to be able to eat Thanksgiving.
Oh, I'm eating Thanksgiving no matter what.
Thanks for listening to the Championship Wrestling Podcast presented by BFreeCBD.com.
BFree CBD, pain on, pain gone. BFree CBD, pain on, pain gone. What a fun week with my Maria. Thank you guys for joining us. And remember, BFree CBD is open in Collierville, Tennessee. Write this down. It's 777 West Poplar Avenue. Go by, say hello to Daryl and Charlotte. Tell them you listen to the podcast. And if you already take CBD, or if you've been thinking about trying it, certainly try BFreeCBD.com. That's the letter B, freecbd.com. We're going to catch you again next week on an all-new Championship Wrestling podcast presented by BFree CBD with another fun guest. And until then, I am Dustin Starr saying so long, everybody.